What's good? We back again with a different style of video, you feel me? Um, we here to make some Champions League predictions. Y'all been, I don't know, a few of y'all in the comments been, noticing my ball knowledge, you feel me? Pause, my football knowledge rather. Um, and shit, let's just fucking predict the Champions League, bro. So yeah, this is literally a first of its kind video. I mean, I used to do FIFA videos, like long ass time ago. Did some FIFA videos, but nothing like sports related really since then. And now, because we're basically like 10 hours away, or not 10 hours. Like right now, where I'm at, I'm like it's like midnight fam, and for me it's like noon when the fucking games are. So we basically 12 hours from the game, and first set of quarterfinals, you feel me? Man City, basically this side of the bracket, you got Man City and Bayern, and then the other game for tomorrow is, I'm pretty sure it's the Inter Milan game. I can check real quick. Nope. Yep. The Inter Milan game. And of course my shit disappears because I'm a rookie, my face cam. But I'm just here to predict these and not make the video too long, you feel me? I'm assuming no one's probably gonna watch this anyways, just because this isn't what y'all here for. You're here for a reaction to music. But I don't know, I feel like doing it, so I'm gonna do it. I feel like that's the most important thing, honestly. But obviously I'm willing. I obviously respond to you guys' comments in terms of like, oh, what to react to, because I'm looking to do that as well, along with doing your guys' suggestions. But for in this case, I'm just what I mean, doing what I feel like doing. And so let's start with Bayern versus Man City. The way more interesting matchup to me, or at least way more popular, eye grabbing, headline making matchup. And yeah, so full disclosure, I am a Borussia Dortmund fan, so you could say I'm biased when talking about Bayern, but I'm really not. I'm pretty objective. So about Bayern, I think they've been slipping up a little bit lately. Obviously, they had their most recent league game, 1-0 over Freiburg, where they're needing the Lick to score a screamer, a worldy goal to just win versus Freiburg. Only 1-0. I was talking to one of my subscribers, one of my viewers on Instagram. Shout out to you, bro, CB, bro. And he's a Bayern fan. He's literally saying, he's like, yeah, our center backs are having to score, man. And it's like, literally, bro. I feel like lately they've kind of had trouble scoring to the effect that they were at the beginning of the season. They were able to score. They were putting up crazy numbers in the beginning of the season under Nagelsmann. It's funny, and then they ended up firing him, obviously, because he just had the little bumpy roads after the World Cup. But I think they might end up regretting it. We'll see. Definitely not probably to the extent that Chelsea regrets firing Tuchel, but yeah, basically, recently I think they've just been struggling to score, and you could point to the Dortmund game 4-2 a couple weeks ago now, but that game was essentially 2 goals gifted by Dortmund, the first of which was like literally given to them because fucking Mayer in his first game back couldn't clear a ball that there was no pressure on. In reality, he could have just let it roll into his box and pick it up, but he goes out of the box to kick it, then misses the ball, and then the ball literally rolls into the net, not touched by Leroy Sané. Anyways, I think that game is an aberration, is what I'm trying to say. It's not. They didn't put up 4 goals legitimately, which they would do in previous meetings versus Dortmund. They would absolutely thrash Dortmund before, in like 99% of their meetings. But I don't think it is an example of that in any way. And Dortmund was actually starting to come back in the end, legitimately. So I think genuinely, I think Bayern is still in this very poor form. Um, you know, the PSG win wasn't really convincing. In the round of 16, it was really, you know, in these sports shows in the U.S. That typically talk about basketball and football, like First Take, for example, if you've or Undisputed with like Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless, they typically bring up these questions like, oh, did the winning team win this game, or did the losing team lose this game, as in like who had the bigger say in the result. And I think that PSG result was way more PSG losing it than Bayern winning it, which I think is a stupid question to begin with, but I think I essentially mean as in Bayern didn't do that much to win, rather it was PSG playing horribly that ended up in them losing. But yeah, that's enough about Bayern. Man City, obviously, almost polar opposites of that. They're rolling right now. They've been rolling incredibly since the World Cup. Jack Grealish has been rolling incredibly since the World Cup. I think he has 4 goals and 3 assists or something since the World Cup. I think I saw that stat. He's actually starting now, and I'm so happy to see it because he was so good at Aston Villa, and like it was so exciting watching him at Aston Villa literally be like the engine of the team attacking wise, and it was so sad to watch him go to Man City, like so many players do, because they have so much fucking money, and beef up their squad for no reason because all these talented players end up sitting on the bench and shit, and don't end up getting playing time. Fucking Calvin Phillips didn't get a fucking minute of game time in the last like fucking year after being like Leeds' fucking engine star hold center CDM. But I thought that was gonna happen to Jack Grealish, but no, he comes back to the World Cup. From the World Cup, obviously some people leave. He ends up getting more starts, more minutes, and he ends up really going into form. You know what I mean? That's what happens when you fucking get consistent time. And Man City in general are just rolling, bro. I think, Holland had the dip in form, kind of like right after the World Cup. He's back in form complete, and dip in form by his standards, which isn't much of a dip in form. Now he's completely back and rolling, just hit 30 goals. Premier League season about to smash Mo Salah's 32 goal record, because he literally has I think it is 10 games left in the Premier League season. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked. My prediction is a very resounding Man City win. I think the home leg, or the leg at the Etihad in Manchester, I think that will definitely be convincing Man City win. As far as the score, I could say, I don't know, it could be something like, I would say 3-1 Man City in the home leg, and I think in the away leg it could be I'd say 2-1 Man City. I think it's gonna end up being like it could be like around a 5 goal aggregate, for Man City, 5-1, maybe 5-2 on aggregate. I just don't think Bayern. First of all, I think Bayern, as I said, it struggles too much to score goals recently, and going up against the side with the possession that Man City will have, and they tend to boss possession no matter who they're playing. Very rarely are they getting the minority of possession. I think it's gonna end up setting up Bayern to become solely counterattacking, which could go well for them. Obviously they have pacey attacking players, pacey wingers, Alphonso Davies, pacey players, but I think it'll end in them just struggling to score, as they have been in their poor form that they have been in. Now let's move quickly to Benfica versus Inter Milan. Shout out to Prime, you feel me? Was able to get Prime in the US. L to everyone in the UK who can't get Prime, you feel me? Asda sold out, so y'all send with no Prime. I apologize. Literally, so many places in the U.S. got this shit. But anyways, fam, enough of laughing in the face of 90% of my audience. We here with the Inter Milan and Benfica, and you know, boring ass game, bro. No offense to any fans of these teams, bro. No one gives a fuck about this game. But I'm gonna have to say it's Benfica going through. Honestly, I think Benfica, obviously, the last couple of years have shocked people in their Champions League performances. Obviously, last year, the year of Darwin Núñez, ends with him getting signed to Liverpool over the summer, because of how impressed Jurgen Klopp was with him. And I, as a Liverpool fan, I remember watching the Benfica game and I was like, who the fuck is that guy? Like, literally attacking, he looked like a beast, bro. He literally looked like, I don't know, like he could do so much stuff, like almost like a Holland 2.0, but like not like that, but you know what I mean? And of course he goes to Liverpool and stinks it up, or at least, you know, he's in the process. I think he is so dangerous. It's just he needs to get, you know, a little more time under him. I don't know. We keep saying that, but I think he's truly dangerous and he'll find his way in the Premier League eventually. But this Benfica squad, top of the Premier Liga, you know, or like the Portuguese league. They're number one. They're up by like 7 points off of Porto in second place. It's always them, Porto, and Braga, like top three every year, I think, right? And Inter Milan are slipping up from previously, you know, winning Serie A and doing incredibly well, and doing pretty well in Champions League as well. They, for their standards, no offense, but just came off of winning Serie A and everything. They're doing pretty shit in Serie A. I think they're sixth, right, or they're sitting right behind Inter Milan, and so I think they're fifth. They're fifth in Serie A, I believe, if not fifth or sixth or something like that. You know, Lazio, AC Milan, Roma, and obviously Napoli are all ahead of them. And yeah, I think it's just gonna end up being a Benfica win. I don't have much to say because obviously I don't know that too much about these sides in and out. I just know Benfica can raise their level in the Champions League, I feel like, and they'll rise to this stage, especially because they know they're not playing like, you know, some crazy ass competition either. They're not playing, you know, Bayern or Man City. Yeah, so I think it'll be a Benfica win. I'd say something along the lines of like 4-1 on aggregate, perhaps a 4-2. But anyways, let's move on to the other two as well, because this shit is probably being long as fuck, this video. Not being out to these two. Inter, first of all, let's touch on the fact that this side of the bracket, why the fuck did they do this, bro? I'm happy that there's going to be like a quote-unquote smaller team that's guaranteed to make it to the final from this side. But like, this is so unequal, man. Like, we want to have we don't want the final to be a walkover, and the way this bracket is that this stuff is setting up for the final to be a walkover. Although Napoli is insane this year, is fucking mental. So I will say it's not complete like, oh, one side is shit, one side is good. They could honestly be the second best team. Maybe you could argue first. I don't even fucking know. Out of this entire bracket. So, saying that, let's get to this matchup. AC Milan and Napoli. This is you know, if you've been following any fucking Italian soccer at all, you would know that the main story this year, Napoli, bro. Literally 16 points ahead of second place, I think. They've lost, like, once this season. Looking absolute mental. Obviously, Victor Osimhen, the striker, going crazy. Kavicha, this Georgian player that just like came out and like got Fabrizio Romano calling him the next Messi, or like little Messi or some shit. Dude is crazy. Haven't watched that much of him except for like certain clips of them in like, you know, Champions League or whatever, or big like, you know, Italian games. But they are the real deal, bro. In the Champions League, they've been in even just as good, if not better, form than Serie A. I don't think they've lost a single game. Maybe I'm wrong. You know, like group stage, and obviously they haven't lost and then lose in the knockout rounds. But yeah, absolutely mental for Napoli. I think they're absolutely walking over Milan, who are still a very good side. Fourth in Serie A, gonna get a Champions League place, probably. I mean, actually, top four in the 2 to 5. I think in Serie A are actually pretty close, like really close. But they're still a very good side. But I think Napoli's just gonna dominate them. This is gonna be like, honestly, the way Napoli are as well, that they can put up goals like crazy, like they can score a significant amount. Probably I'd say, a 6-2 type of aggregate score, 6-2, 7-2 type aggregate score. Maybe 3-0 one leg, 3-1 the other leg, or 4-1 the other leg. Genuinely, because I just don't think Napoli's gonna have any type of trouble. They're not gonna choke, especially versus a weaker Italian opposition. And here, a very interesting game: Real Madrid, Chelsea, replay of last year. One of the multiple magical Real Madrid ties in the Champions League from last year. They came back versus PSG, came back versus Chelsea, I believe it was, as well, obviously, and obviously the best one, in my opinion, for sure, is the Man City one with Rodrigo scoring the 2 goals like in fucking 2 minutes, like 3 goals in like the last 5-6 minutes of the game. But anyways, this time, the side, a lot has changed since then in these sides. Probably more importantly, Chelsea has become complete shite, and domestically are complete shite. Literally 11th place, bottom half of the table. Changing managers, already changed managers twice. Have Frank Lampard in interim manager, which is funny as fuck, and I feel like people should be laughing at it, because this dude, when he was actual manager of Chelsea, they did complete shite, and now they're bringing him in as like a caretaker manager. So yeah, that just shows you the club is in shambles. As an American, bro, I'm fucking it's so sad to watch fucking Todd Bowley just give this horrible name to fucking Americans, bro. That he's doing. Like, Chelsea fans are just gonna probably hate fucking America even more. It's gonna just all, you know what I mean? But this shit's ass, man. And I'm not even a Chelsea fan, bro. I'm a fucking Liverpool fan. But anyways, on the other side, you have Real Madrid, who honestly this year have been, I don't know, it's just, I feel like I would describe them as complete inconsistency. Like, but prior to the World Cup, they had an incredible, it was incredible, start to the season for them. Doing incredible in La Liga. This like 13-point gap that Barcelona currently have didn't exist at all. Obviously, it was still neck and neck. Real Madrid looked like they could end up having, the best season out of them in Barca. They could go far in every competition, probably maybe win La Liga. That's not true anymore. But World Cup really changed everything. I have no idea why. Because they come back and they play, and actually before the World Cup, they were actually starting to teeter in form. Come back from the World Cup, complete shite, inconsistent. They were winning it, but as significant, just inconsistency in their form, winning, losing, drawing in La Liga. The Liverpool game, in the round before, obviously they have that second half comeback, gives us visions of last year's Champions League. And then the second leg was kind of pretty boring and shite. But they deserve to definitely win over Liverpool. Do I think that the magic will continue? I'd say no. Not to the point of them reaching the final. That is, I think they will beat this Chelsea team. I think the home leg at the Santiago will be a 3-1, one Vinny goal, 2 Benzema goals, just that continuing their dominance in the Champions League. Those 2 players. And then I'd say for the Chelsea, the home leg at the bridge, I'd say could be a 1-1. That's it's screaming a 1-1. But yeah, definitely Real Madrid going through. I think just Chelsea's form, man. It's like, yes, form changes based on the competition you're playing in, but I think Chelsea have just been shite on every front. They literally cannot score. Um, my one friend, bro, Chelsea fan, bro was like, they allergic to scoring goals, bro. They really are, fam. They are just allergic. They can't score. Um, and I think that's just a problem, systemic problem with the club right now. It doesn't matter what competition they're playing. So I think it'll be Real Madrid, Bayern, and honestly, fuck it, let's just do this whole thing right now because I'll do it quickly because this fucking video has been long as fuck. Real Madrid, Bayern, and then you'll have Napoli, Benfica. On the right side, it's gonna be Napoli going to the final. Let's say 2 legs. Gonna be resounding Napoli win again. I feel like they're just this side of the bracket, man. It's like just Napoli really. That's the biggest threat by far. Although no disrespect to these other clubs, they could shock us. I mean, they're all fucking, respectable clubs. I think Napoli will beat Benfica. Aggregate probably similar, like 5-2, 6-2 type of score, 5-1. Real Madrid, Bayern. Real Madrid, Man City. If I was saying Real Madrid, Bayern, I apologize before. This is gonna be finally Man City's year. Well, I mean, I'm saying they're gonna get to the final for sure. Obviously they got to the final a couple years ago with Chelsea and ended up losing, but this will be, I think, a resounding Man City win over Real Madrid, unlike last year. And I think it will be along, the Bernabeu leg. I could see a 2-1 Man City, 2-1 or a 2-0. At the Etihad side, I could see honestly a 3-0 Man City, man, because it's just Real Madrid, the inconsistency, and I feel like it's gonna start to fall on the side of poor play, even though it's a Champions League. I think I could see like a 3-1, 3-0 the Etihad. I think on aggregate it could be maybe a 4-2 type of game, 4-2 type of tie, and 4-2, maybe 5-2, 5-3. Man City put up some goals, which they could definitely. Real Madrid's defense obviously has been so shaky, man, which is obviously the makings of an inconsistent side. So that will mean obviously Man City in the final, Napoli in the final. And I said this when this draw originally came out. I said, I'm like, talking to friends or whatever, I honestly hope Napoli can win this Champions League, bro. It would just be great. Even if you're a big fan of any of these other clubs, you'll be happy. This is like a feel good fucking story, bro. Like, no one's gonna be, obviously if you're the fan of the club that plays them in the final, you're definitely gonna be pissed as fuck. But I feel like it's not the same as 2 big clubs. You'll be very mad. I mean, just. And Napoli is a big club as well. It's just, no one was expecting this just insane form in this season. And so if I had to predict, it's so difficult. It's such a weird, because I haven't seen Napoli play versus a huge, like English club or Spanish club for that matter. But I think it's gonna have to be. I definitely want Napoli to win because obviously I fucking hate Man City. Being a Liverpool fan, I hate them more than fucking Man United. I hate them more than any other club just because the last 6 years they've been the ones that, us and them are the top 2, in England, going back and forth and everything. But I definitely want Napoli. But I'm gonna say. Oh, no. I think Napoli's gonna fucking pull it off. I think Napoli's gonna pull it off, bro. Yaya Toure, the shaman put the curse on fucking Pep Guardiola. He's never winning the Champions League, bro. He's never, bro. This isn't even my this might be my heart. This might be my heart more than my head. But honestly, I'm like, Napoli's form is so crazy that I could see. And Man City defensively, to me, they've never been that good. It's just they're just so they're so good possession in their possession based style. Obviously, like passing combinations, attacking are incredible, and they lead to them getting all these simple tapping goals. Or now that they have Holland, incredible finisher, gets all these incredible difficult finishes sometimes, or just tap-ins as well. That's the main fucking thing with Man City. But I think defensively they can get exposed if they're with some prolific attackers like Napoli have. So fuck it, man. I'm gonna take Napoli. I think that they're just gonna do it. Their form. It is what it is, man. And it's gonna continue. Inshallah, you feel me? That's gonna be it, bro. This is a long ass video. I don't even care if I'm just gonna upload to see what the fuck happens, just because I'm feeling like uploading this shit. Yeah, I'm gonna catch you on the next one. Let me know your predictions in the comments, bro. But yeah, man, I just wanted to make this video, before the quarterfinals started. And yeah, man, Viva Napoli, bro. I'm gonna catch you on the next one, and peace.